Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod here to talk about Season 1, Episode 2 of Fox's The Snake, titled Pick Your Poison. Last week on The Snake, our group of stereotypical archetypes started their game of strategy and deceit, and when Catherine, who was wearing red, became the first snake, she sent Officer Kaylee back on patrol. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on this season's recaps, so if you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. You can check out The Snake Tuesday nights on Fox and next day on Hulu. But let's dive into it. The day after the elimination, Catherine's wearing her hot girls read smut pajamas and cuddles up with ex-con Brian. Brian feels indebted to Catherine for keeping him safe last week. There's a lot going on around the house that all seems like important setup. Brett, Devontae, and Jack are forming an all-guys alliance. They're plotting to stick together with plus ones to take over the house. Detective Derek is onto their asses. He recruits hairstylist Frankie as his rat spy. Catherine is the first person the guys recruit. There's also this side plot from last episode where Catherine has a whole plan listed on her phone that she reads in confessional, which includes lying to people and getting in with the strong players. Why is Catherine allowed to have a phone with all this stuff on it? Pastor Jacob shares that he's trying to get the money to win fertility treatments for him and his wife. Cowboy Cody thinks Pastor Jacob is a big old snake and doesn't trust him. Cheerleader McLean has her head in the game. Oh, wait, she's crushing on Jack, so never mind. And Bounty Hunter Mina tells us she's learning about people to use it against them. They head to their daily challenge, a head-to-head eating challenge, where they start off squaring off in twos, racing to down their nasty drinks.
I hate this ring.
In each pair, the first player to finish their drink first moves on to the next round. If they both can't finish it, they're both out. The last player standing will be the snake for the week. Derek and Amanda both can't finish their meaty shake. I can appreciate this show because the drinks really look nasty. Cody and Catherine face off to drink their tentacles. Catherine reads us a strategy from her phone. Throw challenges as often as possible, so she's out and Cody moves on. McLean gobbles her fish eyeballs, but Jordan pukes, so she's out. Host Jim thinks it's hilarious when the pastor and OnlyFans Alyssa face off. Jacob easily wins and moves on. Jack eliminates Mina. Brian eliminates Frankie. And in the last round, Boxer Brett projectile vomits on Jim Jeffries' already horrible outfit, meaning Devontae moves on. The 5 players who moved on have to eat 3 century eggs. Is it my diet speaking, or do these eggs look delicious? Cody drops out early, and it comes down to Jack and Jacob. Jack wins and becomes the snake for the week. Then Pastor Jacob causes a scene. He's accusing Jack of spitting into Jacob's bucket. Jacob's argument, he spit, therefore he quit. Producers stop production to review the tape. Following the review of the Spitgate tapes, it is inconclusive. How did they not have the footage of the challenge? So the only solution is they have to play this part of the challenge all over again, and Jack wins again. Bad news for Pastor Jacob. They head back to the house where Jacob publicly apologizes, but everyone's sketched out by him. He's trying to fall back on his alliance from last week with Amanda and Derek, but Amanda's already signaling that she might not be willing to stick her neck out for him. Jim Jeffries has a huge package. Inside it is a new player to join the game. Christine, the teacher, who the show must point out is wearing red. The men are gooning over her, especially Cody, even though she's dressed like randomized sim. I was expecting this late edition player to be a celebrity, but I guess we're just adding random people to the mix whenever we want. Around the house, Cody continues to objectify Christine to and not to her face. Jake doesn't like Christine because she happens to conveniently like everything everyone likes. After some white wine, Christine is giving Cody bedroom eyes, so I think it's going down basement between these two. Brett's onesie is awesome. I like that kind of stuff. McLean confesses to Devontae that she has a crush on Jake, which Devontae doesn't love because it makes Jake way more powerful in the game, so he cautions Jake against a showmance. The next day, everyone's still hating on the pastor. Catherine reads us another rule from her phone to be everybody's therapist as she therapizes Snake Jake. Brett checks in on Mina, who hasn't been part of the house happenings. He says she's been isolated. Meanwhile, Christine and Cody are getting handfuls of each other by the pool, and I think this blur was a little ridiculous. Grow up, Fox. Derek pretty much tells Jacob that he's not going to stick his neck out for him, out of fear of sabotaging his own game. We check in with Christine before the elimination, who's really nervous. She's also completely relying on Cody picking her, and not even talking to Jack. Players strategize around the upcoming safety chain at the saving ceremony. Frank is only concerned about his hair, because if he doesn't do his rollers, forget it. They head to the elimination. Before anything, Jim reveals that since she didn't get to play in the challenge, Christine is safe, which is fair and appropriate. Snake Jack starts the picking, choosing Brett, which disappoints McLean. Brett picks Devontae, followed by Catherine, Brian, Jordan, Alyssa, Frankie. Frankie picks Cody. It's revealed that Cody and Frankie have this unlikely friendship and are really close. Cody picks Derek. At this time, Derek realizes that there's a whole power structure and he's at the bottom of it, so he balls out and picks Pastor Jacob. And Jacob picks Amanda, leaving McLean and Mina in the bottom two. So Snake Jack has to pick between Mina and McLean. He's tempted to be savage and cut his showmance, but in the end, he cuts Mina. So we lose Mina here, who was so boring. Surprising because she was bold enough to raise her hand in the premiere to take control of the game, and she was on a high. Had the first week not flipped, the other players would have been so grateful for her for picking them. But that twist really screwed her over. She could have gone home last week. I was shocked she didn't. And this episode, she was so antisocial that the show was putting random clips of her. Like, this is all we have of Mina, and it's her boot episode, so it's not much, but it's honest work. Brett even went to check in on her because she was being so antisocial. It seems like she kept to herself a lot, which is not good in this game. She almost stayed here again. Jack considered keeping her because she's basically a layup, and I'd rather her leave here than see her be in the bottom two over and over again. After 2 episodes, I'm very underwhelmed that they didn't really dive into her being a bounty hunter, which is very cool if true. So that's all I have to say about this episode of The Snake. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next week with more Snake. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.